What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and this is the Ace of Hearts podcast. Listen, I've been gone all weekend, and I know everybody been like, "Where you been?" I was on tour doing the tour thing, but I'm back. I'm back for you all. So we're gonna get this popping the long ways. Now we already have questions posted, so we're gonna get right into it. Sound good? All right, on Instagram, um, let's do it. We already got some questions, and if you're joining live on YouTube, shout out to you all. So we're gonna get into it. Somebody said dealing with trauma after abuse, physical and mental. Baby girl, you gotta heal. You got to heal. There's so many people that's going from person to person to person without seeing a therapist first, without seeing a counselor, without seeing a mature person that can help them through your trauma. Listen, I know the trauma wasn't your fault. It wasn't. But healing is your responsibility. I wish the person that hurt you was also responsible for healing you afterwards. But we know if that person cared about your healing, they wouldn't have hurt you in the first place. The reason they tore you down is because they didn't have it inside of them to be able to lift you up. You have to be the person that does that. And too often we expect the person that hurt us to be the person that heals us. And that's why we get broken into 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces, is because we keep thinking that that person that hurt us is going to be the person that heal us. You keep thinking it's their responsibility because it's their fault you are broken. No, you have to fix that. Everyone that's watching right now, we all had some previous trauma, whether that's childhood trauma, mama or daddy issues, whether that's a toxic narcissistic relationship with our past or from our past, whether that's abandonment issues, codependency issues. If we do not fix those things, it is our lives that suffer. Period. We suffer when we don't fix those things. We do. Don't nobody else be hurting. Your ex, no matter how toxic he or she was, moves on with their life. They'll move on with their life. And we're the one left in pieces. So what I'm saying is, it is not going to be difficult. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to put your pieces back together. This is why I always warn people, you have to leave relationships before you are completely broken down. And the problem is most people don't want to do that. You want to wait until all the love is gone before you leave the relationship. You want to wait until you hate that person before you to leave the relationship. And let me tell you something. If you wait until those things happen, you will be in crumbs by the time you leave. That's how broken down you will be if you keep staying in these relationships until your heart can't love anymore. The reason you don't love this person no more is because they broke you. We have to start leaving when we know the relationship ain't functional. You understand that? You understand that? When the relationship isn't functional, that's when you leave. But instead, what do? Instead, what do? We stay. How do you get over your trauma? Oh, that's a loaded question. But the first thing is you have to take responsibility for your healing. No, it is not your fault that you hurt. No, it's not your fault that that person did X, Y, and Z towards you. But it is your responsibility to heal. And I know it ain't fair, but nothing in life is. Nothing in life is fair. You understand me? Nothing in life is fair. Period. That's it. I wish I can tell you something different, but I can't. So if you want healing, you got to go find it. All right. Let's get to the next question. Let's get to the next questions. Why men have a hard time confronting the truth up front and ghost? He don't have to tell you the truth. He don't have to tell you the truth. He doesn't have to tell you the truth. And oftentimes he doesn't, and can choose to lie to get exactly what they want. And this is not just he, this is she. Oftentimes people, instead of doing the hard work on themselves to become a better person, what they do is pretend to be a better person. And here's the troublesome part about it. Oftentimes people think they've become a better person. So those lies that this person is telling you in the beginning, to them aren't even lies. This is them thinking that they're actually something different without putting in the hard work. You think you got out of this toxic relationship, and because you are delusional, you think it's 100% the other person's reason or fault that the relationship didn't work. So now you don't think you have to do work on yourself. Or maybe you were a chronic cheater in the past, and you think a couple months done passed, and you've been good for a couple months. Then now you've gotten over those urges, are feeding into those urges, and it ain't till you get deep into a relationship that you find out that you didn't. What I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, people lie, and you are shocked that people are doing things that people do. They lie. I go into any dating situation taking anything you say with a grain of salt. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, I feel you. And I take 6 to 7 to 8 months to verify the things you've told me. But y'all don't want to do that. You don't want to be patient. You don't want to be patient. You don't want to sit back and say, you know what? Let me chill and see if this person is actually a person that will never hurt me like they just said they was. Let me see if this person is actually faithful and committed. Let me not just take their words for it. Now, that don't mean you got to be skeptical and critical of everything a person says. It's just saying, I'm going to accept what you said, but I don't necessarily believe it till I see you put that in practice. But whoa, way too far, or far too often, what you are doing is you are meeting somebody that says the right things and you believe they ask. You know why? Because they look good, and it's been a long time. You've been single for so long. You ain't had a good man come in your life for so long that you ready to believe anything somebody say to you simply because you want this relationship to work. Why do men lie? The same reason women lie. Same reason people lie. You just have to be able to decipher who's telling you the truth and who is not. If you are not able to do that, your life will be more difficult. I wish I could tell you something different. Shit gonna be hard for you. So I want you to learn how to differentiate. And the first tangible tip I can tell you is take your time when you are dating. Take your time when you are dating. One more time. Take your time when you are dating. Okay? Well, we got some more questions. I gotta fix my camera. It looks blurry to me. I don't know. Maybe it don't look blurry to y'all. Well, I ain't got my glasses on. Let me see. Yeah, it don't look that bad. The background look real good. I look like the focus is on the background. I'm gonna try to take it and change it in a second. I need an assistant here. I need a visual assistant. I'll worry about that later. Let's see. Keep these questions coming. Keep these questions coming. Let's see. Keep these questions coming. YouTube, if you got any questions, somebody said, why is it easier to quit than to fix your marriage? Because marriage takes work. Listen, for everybody's watching, it will always be easier to quit your relationship than it is to fix it, especially when you have worth, esteem, and confidence, and you know that you can go get somebody else. If you are one of those people that suffer from abandonment issues, or you don't think you look real good, it's probably easier to fix your marriage than to find another one. But for some people, you know your value, and you are reminded of it on a daily basis. You are reminded that you ain't got to put up with this bullshit. You are reminded that you deserve a lot better. You see the interest you get from other people, so it is easier to leave an unfulfilling marriage than it is to fix it. This is why we say our vows to each other. This is why. And if you have someone that don't value the vows that they said and the commitment that they said for better and for worse with you, then it will always be hard to keep that relation. Sometimes you're gonna have to make it work, yo. I wish I could sit here and feed you this fairy tale that once you get married, it's happily ever after the rest of the time, because it is not. It's not. It's difficult, fam. And I think the key portion of it is you're going to have to work for this. And we are not working for it. We first of all, we don't even work for our marriage when we're dating. You date on your spare change time. It's probably why half of us, or the majority of us, ain't got nobody. Is because we're not putting the same priority and time and commitment into dating as we are with our job or how we did with college. We date with our spare change time. Let's be honest. The same ladies on my live just complaining about being single is the same people that don't go on many dates. You've been on 1 or 2 dates in the last month with different people. Maybe. And that's maybe. Maybe. Matter of fact, you don't even go out. You don't even do things to be found. You're not at the library. You're not being social on the subway. You're not changing and going to new gyms and interacting with new people. You're not joining networking events to go network with this person after hours. You're not doing that. You're not going to karaoke night and being engaging with the people who are there. You're not increasing your odds of finding people. You're not actively really dating, but yet you're complaining about you being single and how ain't nobody found you. You know, that's what you do. Fellas, the same thing. You're complaining about, I ain't know where I can't find them, but you're not being active participant in your dating process. Period. And I stick my finger on that. Because when you are single, you treat dating like it's a side thing to do. You're not actively putting a lot of energy in there. It's spare change time. You do the same thing with your marriage. You do. You do. You spare change it. You give your marriage attention after you went to work, after you've completed your hobby, after you've tended to the children. And now let me put some tokens inside my marriage. And this is the thing that I feel like we're missing. If you actively, I'm going to attack this from 2 angles. If you actively want to be married, you're going to have to work for it. Ladies, you're going to have to work for it. You actively want to be married, you're going to have to work for that. That means you're going to have to be social. You're going to have to spark some conversations. You may have to learn some jokes. You're going to have to learn how to be interested in some things that people of the opposite sex are interested in. You're going to have to learn how to go out 2 or 3 times a week to different places. It ain't got to be the club. Maybe it's karaoke night, like I just said. Maybe it's the library. Maybe you listen. Somebody yesterday, I had a coaching call, and they was like, "Yo, Ace, tell me how can I meet men? Where can I go to meet men?" Mind you, she lives in New York City. New York City. The most populated city in the country. And she's saying, where do I go to meet men? Ladies, quit making this rocket science. Every time that woman walks outside of her house, there's men. You on top of each other in New York. Every time you ride in the subway, there's men. Every time you go to the bodega, there's men. Every time you go take your journey to work, there's men. There's people everywhere you turn if you live in New York City. But yet you're like limiting yourself because you think you have to be in a certain establishment to be able to be social and meet men or people of the opposite sex for men towards women. When you see them every day on the street, but you don't speak. You don't say good morning to people. You don't say how your day if you see somebody again. When you're on the subway and you're going to be on the subway train for 15 minutes with the same person and you're sitting right next to them, you don't be like, hey, where you headed? My name is, we don't do that. Men do it more often. That's why men tend to get exactly what they're looking for. But I will contend with women, everything else in your life you've worked for. But imagine if you apply the same logic you use during dating to the relationships you're hoping to find. Like, you just hope your college degree falls in your lap. Well, God's going to provide it for me, so I don't need to go to class. I don't need to study because God's going to provide that degree for me. The apartment or home you have, I don't need to pay mortgage and I don't need to go find it. Someone's just going to knock on my door when I'm living with my mom and hand me a house. That logic don't work for nothing else in your life, but you think that logic is going to work for finding or being found by a man. Again, we're not working for our relationships. So oftentimes, ladies, you are getting in relationships you really don't want, but this is the best you got because you didn't work to get better options. And I digress. You know why I digress? Because I don't want to get into this argument with y'all today. I do not want to get into this argument with you all today. Because trying to convince a woman to be more of an active participant in her dating process, y'all be looking at me halfway crazy. I ain't even read the comments yet, but y'all looking at me halfway crazy. Because all you're going to do is keep giving me all these excuses as to why you ain't doing this, why you ain't doing that, and why you can't do this, and I don't want to believe this, and I don't, have you ever done it? All these damn excuses. There will be 1,001 reasons right now when I'm telling you to be a more active participant in your dating process. There's going to be 1,001 excuses you're going to be able to give to reason as to why you shouldn't. And the ones that's not going to really have much success dating are the ones that believe those excuses and those lies they tell themselves. Baby girl, maybe if you hit the gym a little bit more, you'd be found by somebody. Just like I'll tell a guy, maybe if you was more serious about your business and your finances, you'd find a woman. Ladies, it's just really not. It's really not. Well, no, he should accept me like I am. And that's what I'm saying. So when you go to college and you take those tests, no matter what the score is, they should just give you your degree because you participated. Not that you excelled, but you feel like you deserve a degree, although your test scores disagree. Same is true with the dating realm, ladies and fellas. The reason I'm talking to the women because a woman asked me this question. But if you're not happy with the dating options you have, maybe you should prepare more so you can pass the test next time. I'm going to be quite frank with you all. Some of you all wouldn't have as much trouble if you were 15 pounds lighter. Some of you wouldn't have as much trouble if you actually went out the house a little bit more. Some of you all wouldn't have much trouble if you just said, hey, good morning to a person that's passing by if you think they cute or look good. But who am I? I don't fucking know. Shit. Or we can sit here and complain about how hard dating is. Or we can do the work to get the results we want. It's really simple. And, you know, as much as I hate ladies complaining about the dating field, I really hate when dudes complain about it. You know, I try to be real compassionate with the ladies because I'm sure you guys have been taught that you don't have to do anything. And so I've been working. When I talk to women, I have to work against the whole narrative that a woman's place is to allow a man to pick her, which I think is some sexist bullshit that contributes to women being less happy in relationships. I think you should go pick the guy you want to be with if you see one worthy of you going to pick him. Shit, I think whoever see who first should spark a conversation. Trust me. Women think they have options, but if you subscribe to this traditional thinking when it comes to dating, do you really have options? If your options is picking from the people that pick you, you don't truly have options. Truly. Not the way a man does. Not the way a man does. And let me tell you this. This is one thing I will say. I talked about this in New York. A man will shoot his shot. Boy, that nigga shoot many shots. A man will shoot 10 or 15 shots a day. Now, if you like that, you got to be prepared to be rejected 14 or 15 times. But I think men are more encouraged to not get discouraged by rejection. You're just used to it. But you're going after what you want. I just encourage women. Is it because you believe in these traditional values why you're not more assertive during the dating realm? Or is it because you're afraid of being rejected? Are you afraid that if you think someone is nice looking or you think they're really a potential great dating partner, are you afraid of shooting your shot because you think what he's going to think of you? Or you're afraid that if he doesn't view you the same way you view him, you like, hey, Reggie, how you doing? I'm doing good. Oh, Reggie, maybe we should hang out sometime. Nah, I'm good. Then you gonna be, your little spirit gonna be crushed. You gonna be motherfucker. What? You good? What? And let me tell you why it's like that. Because when you wait for men to approach you, the fear of rejection goes away, because everyone that tries to get your number or everyone that's sparking a conversation with you, that they're interested. Like, I think women love to be in the position to where they are deciding whether or not they're interested in you after you've shown interest. And while I feel like that has the advantage of, avoiding the possibility of rejection, it severely limits the number of qualified people you get to pick from. So I guess I'm saying all that to say this. It's your choice how you want to date. I'm not going to sit here and tell a woman what they should or shouldn't do. It's just when you complaining about your dating options all the time, but you're not really doing anything actively to improve them, that's when I have a problem. You inbox me all the time talking about these dating options. When I give you some really tangible ass solutions, you like, nah, I think I'm gonna just stay doing what I'm doing and I've always done, and I'm not gonna change anything. And the person is right for me. What you do is you guide me to death. That's what you do. You guide me to death. That's what it boils down. No, Ace, he who finds a woman. He Ace, he who finds a wife. Ace, he. Y'all so fast that God be to death. It's ridiculous. And I let y'all have it. I let you have it. God go bring this man about life. God be to death with this. And the reason I let you have it is because I understand when you went to church as a little girl and you grew up. I mean, we all kind of probably grew up a little religious, especially in Black households. They told you God was going to provide that for you, and all you had to do was believe. And I think that is absolutely false. I don't think believing is enough. I'm a big manifestation person, but I don't think manifesting is enough. I think working in harmony with your beliefs, working in harmony with your prayers, having faith accompanied by works is what happened. The key part is you got to work in harmony. You have to actually give God something to bless. Listen, ladies, let's be honest. Let's be honest. And this is only for people that seriously, like, if you're not at that point where you're actively, like, you really are longing for that partner, this conversation is probably not for you. But let's be honest, like, we gotta really dive into the God we actually claim we serve. We got to, God's blessings often require works. And one of those things is, even if you're a person to say, well, I'm not going to approach men. That's the line I'm drawing because of whatever reason you have. Okay. I don't understand it, but okay. Are you the best you can be? Are you as fit as you can be? Let's be honest. I'm not right now. I'm 234 pounds. That's fucking ridiculous. I got to get my life together. But are you as fit as you can be? Can you improve your fitness? Not just for a man, but for your health. We preach about being biblical, but we understand our bodies is our temple. Are you upkeeping your temple? And the reason I say I keep responding and saying this is because I am in concert with men and I know that weight is an issue for men, just as height is an issue for women, right? You don't want to do shorter than you. Most men don't want a woman, most that's bigger than them, okay? Children, you want to say, well, God's going to provide this man for you, blah, blah, blah. But doesn't God also talks about being abstinent? Doesn't God want us to bring children in this world when we have been married? We doing all these things out of order, but we pick and choose which part of the scriptures we want to hang our hat on. And oftentimes it's the most convenient ones that fit us. And the most convenient one to fit women is the he who finds a wife finds a good thing scripture. You will zero on that, but also don't really quote and follow the scriptures about chastity and children out of wedlock, the context clues about how God would feel about that, so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And so that's what, like, I try my hardest not to bring biblical points in here, because it's like we pick and choose which parts of the Bible we want to be traditional about. Yeah, you know what I mean? I ain't even gonna read my comment section for about 2 minutes because I know y'all trying to eat me up, but you can't really argue with my logic here, you know. And as much as I do not like King Sam, what, King Kevin, is that what the dudes are calling him nowadays? King Kevin. Boy, sometimes I'll be listening to that man, I'll be like, he's not lying. He ain't lying. Because think about it. I get how you feel inside about this part, but I want you to look at what the results of what you've been doing have been producing. You know, fellas, the same thing. If you are a guy and you've only been in these negative and toxic relationships, you'd be foolish to not think that you have to change something. Are you going to keep attracting or being or accepting this type of relationship? If you are sick of Section 8 chicks, you need not to be a Section 8 dude. It's common sense. You got a big ass beer belly with no titties and no arms, and your dick is small, and you're up here wondering why you can't get a quality woman. Nigga, control what you can control. Lose some weight, get some abs, get a little breast meat, get a decent job. You'd be surprised. There be a lot of these keyboard thugs. I be seeing these dudes be all bad at women, all online and shit on the keyboards. Women just be overlooking. Of course she overlooking your ass. Like, come on, bro. Your beard don't connect. You're 5'6", and you're broke. You got to pick a struggle. You can't be ugly, fat, broke with a little dick. It don't work. Control what you can control. You can't grow a bigger dick, but you can lose that stomach. All right? You can make some more money. Control what you can control. And ladies, the same thing for you. I mean, I ain't sitting up here trying to tell you what to do. I know ladies get real offended when you start telling them what would work for them. Boy, ladies really get offended. But but oh my goodness. I'm telling you, this is one thing I will say. And I believe this with my heart. And I got to get off here in a second. I believe this with my heart. Ladies, there are a handful of women out of the bunch that this advice don't apply to because they are so absolutely drop dead gorgeous that they got the pick of the litter. We can sit here and argue about merit. Well, just because they look good don't mean they really good. All that bullshit. Let me tell you why that's bullshit. Because you will pick and choose when that type of logic is convenient. Like, for example, when I say fitter, prettier, more feminine women typically get more interest than ones that are not, you will call those guys shallow. But let me tell you how it's a contradiction. Is because when I tell you to approach men, you're like, no, he should approach me. Based off of what? A man that has never talked to you should approach you because of what? Why do you think he's approaching you? You're not showing off your personality because you don't want to approach him. So why would the nigga approach you? Because of how the fuck you look. So you want two sides to be true. You want a man to not go after the pretty, fit, feminine looking women because you think that makes them shallow. But you want them to be shallow when it comes to picking you and initiating conversations with you because you don't want to be inconvenienced with having to approach your man to get his attention. I'm going to be honest with you, just like I was just honest with the fellas. Ladies, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of y'all don't look as good as you think you look. And you'd attract better quality men by leading with your personality first. Some of y'all are personality women, okay? Let's be honest. I'm about to lose some followers, but I care about you finding somebody for you. Some of y'all are personality, boy. Your personality real good. And that's what you got to use to hook that dude. You got to use your personality, boy. You got to have some jokes and shit. Boy, be able to speak life into a nigga. You got the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Boy, your personality goes point. Now, if you a personality girl, you cannot rely on your looks to attract men. Not going to work for you. Just being honest. Look, but I will agree with this. Somebody said, nah, I'm good. Or be single. Shit. Listen, let me say this. When you guys put that, well, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I'd rather be lonely. I'd be like, there we go. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to really just give you some practical advice, but all right. If you want to be in your feelings, boo-boo, be in your feelings, okay? Be in your feelings. It's your life. Be in your feelings. That's what you want to do. If you want results, then you probably got to change and do something different. I just think we are so entrenched in these societal norms and gender roles that we kind of suffer. It's 2021. I would encourage you to go after what you want. I did a poll at the New York show. Every man that's on that show is in a relationship. And every man, and half of us are married. Well, not me, but you get what I'm saying. And what all the men had in common is that their women approached them first. Now, what I mean by approach, I'm not saying that they asked them out on a date first, but some did and paid for it. And I guess I'm just saying, like, in a world full of women that are so passive, I believe the ones that are more active get noticed first. Think about it. If you had a remote, if your remote for your TV was able to yoo-hoo every time it was lost, how many of those remotes would be found? Now, I know I'm mansplaining, and maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but he who finds a wife finds a good thing doesn't mean that she who finds a husband doesn't find a good thing, or she who makes herself able to be found gets found by a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that he who finds, listen, first of all, what y'all don't know is I know niggas. I know niggas ain't looking like that. Y'all acting like these niggas is on their hands and feet looking for a wife to marry. That's what y'all really be acting like. I mean, y'all know dudes like I know dudes. You really think these niggas on their hands and feet crawling? I must find her. Like, they not doing that nowadays. I'm saying maybe we need to try some different shit. That's all I'm saying. I've yet to meet a man like that in my life. Okay. I think men in 2021, I do feel like men are still assertive. I still think men approach women. I don't think all the intention when they approach the women are pure. I think a lot of it is sexual motivated or void feeling that's going on. But I do feel like that there's a good portion of men that are ready to be married. Typically, that's later in life and after a mistake or two. The same for you. Like, you're ready to be married now because you 2 kids in. Like, let's be honest. So a lot of times, I mean, it's not something that, and I'm gonna be honest, I sit here and I kind of really tuggle. Like, I tuggle between whether marriage does it do the same thing for us as it used to? Does it have the same benefits? Ladies, I think y'all should ask yourself that question, because I know for men it has remarkable benefits. Married men tend to be happier, healthier, and live longer and make more money than comparable men that are single. Statistically, marriage for men is beneficial, regardless of the quality of the marriage. But I don't think it's as much for women. I don't think it has the same results for women. I feel like women get married and do more work and make more sacrifices. So I just really think you all should evaluate, whether or not you are a person that wants to be married. 2, no, before that, evaluate whether or not you want to be someone carrying a child of a man that isn't your husband. I think that is where we have to start, especially in our community. I mean, we have a 70 to 80% single mother rate in the Black community. That shit is ridiculous. And it's part men, part women. It's both. It's both. It's shit we got to get together. Men, you gotta start wrapping it up. Now, listen, I've had raw sex in my life, so I understand how it feels. I understand the dilemma. Okay. Shit be so wet, you want to feel everything. But I think that's a part of our problem when it comes to dating and finding what we actually want to find. Most men and women, by the time they realize that they're seeking marriage, have already made mistakes. Whether it's bad relationships that now they have trust issues from, or past hurt that makes it difficult moving forward, whether it's children. And I know that ain't your mistake. I know you love that kid, so it ain't a mistake to you. But it definitely didn't make finding a partner easier. Women and men. Men a little different, because typically, if he has a child with a woman, that child stays with the woman. So you can marry a man with a child, and when you have your child with him, you would feel like that's his first child. Because typically when you marry a man and you have a child with him, you're raising that child in your household. That becomes the first child he's raised. The other kid come every weekend or something like that. Every other, some shit like that. That other kid got a different daddy. His baby mama's current husband. You know what I mean? It would be dicey. It'd be dicey the other way around. Whereas men, when they typically marry a woman with a child or two, they have to immediately step into a full-time stepfather role. Even if that's not what you're asking for him to do, he's in that house with those children. So he's dating you and your children. Whereas if you was the other way around, there's not many single fathers. So you don't necessarily feel like you're dating him and his kids. The kids you see the kids every now and again, and hopefully you get along with them, take them out for ice cream, but you don't feel like you're living with them kids every day in and day out. I think that's the first thing we all have to do better. Men, be careful, man. Quit, wrap the shit up. Ladies, wrap it up. I would say quit having sex, but I'm not gonna tell you to do some shit that I don't practice myself. So let's be more intentional about that. Let's be more intentional with not getting into relationships before we're ready to actually take it to the ultimate level. When we get into those relationships, we're 20, 21, 22, 23. You know that shit ain't gonna work. I know it ain't gonna work. Everybody know it ain't gonna work. The only thing you gonna end up doing is having kids and breaking your motherfucking heart. But y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. But we have to teach our children, listen, focus on your careers, focus on college, focus on not creating baggage when it comes to a relationship. Again, just because that kid is your blessing doesn't mean that man doesn't see it as baggage. Brothers, just because that kid is your blessing doesn't mean that woman doesn't see that kid as baggage. Let's be honest. But then once you get past that, you got to think, why are you getting married and for what reason? Is it a healthy reason? Is it because this marriage is beneficial to you? Or is it just because of the emotional connection? Do you have the resources and the skills required to have this marriage work? If not, you probably don't want to do that. And lastly, if you decide that I do want to get married, I've done everything you said, Ace. I've made the changes to myself. I've done my squats. So now I got a little ass. You know niggas love ass. Hold on, let me look at it. I'm pointing at the camera. You know niggas love ass. You ain't got to get the BBL. I know y'all, listen, you ain't got to go out here and get these BBLs. You can build that butt, boo. you can, no. The only BBLs I want you to get is build that butt, lady. Build that butt, lady. You can squat them shits out. See, here's the thing. You squat them up, you get that ass from squatting. Now you healthy on the inside and out. Now listen, ladies, if you got the BBL, I ain't saying don't get. Hey, if you want the BBL, go get the BBL. Go get the BBL. I'm all for whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm specifically saying you ain't got to do it. Somebody was like, yeah, I want to buy, but I ain't trying to get no BBL. Okay, right. Well, you get to the gym, nigga. Come on, ladies. We got this. We could build that ass. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm dropping a ass building program because I happen to think I got a nice ass. Y'all ain't seen my ass. I got a nice ass. I done built my butt. You know what I'm saying? I got a nice man ass. It's squat building. Okay. I did a lot of squats. So if y'all down to build that ass, let me know. I'll help you build some ass. Okay. One more time. Niggas love ass. You right there, niggas love ass. You just know they do. Okay. But then seriously, I'm gonna end it with this. If you do not want to rely on your vanity, the vain things to attract men, which I feel like is not necessarily the best way to do it, then use your aura, your personality, your jokes, the sound of your voice. Get close enough to a man where he can smell you. Be attracted to your pheromones. If you know for a fact you are a person where you're like, I be honest. You got to be honest with yourself. I'm not stopping nigga in his tracks gorgeous. That's okay. You don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be. Because I believe if someone connects to your soul, that's where true partnership is made. But you have to put your soul on display. Think about how much we are putting our bodies on display. We put our bodies on the front line. You know what I mean? We push-up bras for our bodies and girdles for our bodies and ass pads for our bodies. We put high heels on and foundation and makeup to highlight our bodies. But how can you highlight your soul in this process? You know, can you highlight that part of you? Can you push up your morals? Can you put the fruits of the spirit that you have, can you lift them up with high heels? Can you squeeze in your insecurities? Can you do the same things with how you are on the inside to where people can see it on the outside of you? And I think that is what separates people. Now, I want y'all to say hello to my dog. Hold on, come here. Okay, this is my dog, Toby. He just turned 1 today. Toby turned 1. Yeah, I remember when I got Toby, he was little. Well, he about 50 pounds now. He just ate a doggy birthday cake. You know what I'm saying? He's 1 today. Today is his birthday. So I'm about to go play with my dog a little bit. I'm a dog dad. Okay, I'm a dog dad. Look, see, he got the happy birthday thing. Birthday. It's happy birthday scarf. So he's been having a good day. He's seeing his friends over the weekend. So we about to go chill. All right, Toby, I'll be out there in a second. I love you guys. I hope I gave you some tangible tips. YouTube, thank you for watching. Instagram Live, thank you for watching. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.